Hi everybody, welcome to North Star Knife Reviews. Today I want to take a look at some potential first knives for kids. Now today is December 8th, 2020, and I know Christmas is coming up. I have looked in the last day or two to check to make sure these knives are available out there, and if they're not, if the specific model that I looked at is not available, then something very, very similar is going to be available. Also, I've been trying to keep the price low on this, so everything here, and again, I've checked the prices, is going to come in at $25 or less, at least depending on where you get it. Now, some places may charge a little more, some a little less, so shop around, okay? I'm going to look at a variety of knives here, folders, fixed blades, a multi-tool. There are going to be a couple US made, some imported, large, small, just to give you a variety to look at. Now, how old should your child be when you first give a knife? Well, that's really up to you. Depends on your views, how mature you think your child is, those sorts of things. But when you do give them, these are some options that you might want to take a look at. Now, this is not exhaustive by any means. There are many other knives out there. If you have one, please put it in the comments so that other people can draw on that knowledge as well. One thing I do want to say, if you're giving a knife to somebody who's not your child, please do ask their parent or their guardian before giving it to them. It's just a courtesy that I think you need to do. All right, well, let's take a look at some knives. Let's start out with this one. This is the Victorinox Swiss Army knife Tinker. This is a knife that I have given numerous people over the years. Now, you could use a different type of Swiss Army knife, but the Tinker, I think, just has a lot going for it. I'm not going to go into detail on any of these knives, but just a quick look. Okay, you've got the main spear blade. I do carry this one, and I've lost the toothpick. Something I suppose kids could do is lose things as well. But you've got the toothpick, the tweezers. You have a Phillips screwdriver on this, which can be handy. You have a second blade, which I kind of like, a little small blade. Swiss Army knives come in all sorts of covers. You know, you can get a bicycling cover, a hiking cover, autism awareness. You can get flowers. You can get NASA covers. You know, you can really find something for anybody. So this is a really good option to consider. If you're looking for a more simple knife, a Sodbuster or Sodbuster Junior style. Now, these are Imperials, and I know that Imperial, a lot of knife guys are probably running in horror because Imperials are considered cheap knives. But, you know, these Sodbusters are actually not bad, and they only run anywhere from $6 to $10. Okay, the Tinker, by the way, is going to run anywhere from $20 to $25, depending on where you get it. Now, if you prefer, you can certainly get a Sodbuster from Case, but they then will run a little over that $25 mark. As I said, these are about $6 to $8 and maybe $8 to $10, depending on where you get them. They're really not bad quality. They're 7CR17, which is equivalent to a 440A blade. They're going to be a great knife to teach your child to sharpen. You know, they won't hold an edge for a long, long time, but you know, they'll be okay for most tasks. And as I say, you can give your child the chance to sharpen them because these will be fairly easy to sharpen. So these are a couple of options that you might consider. Maybe you want an American-made blade. Okay, well, here would be an option for you. This is a Case 225L. This happens to be in the camouflage pattern, but you can also get it in black. You may be able to get it in some others as well. This is just a small little American-made knife. You can see you've got about a 2-inch blade on here. If you're looking for something, maybe you have a child with smaller hands, or for one reason or another you want your child to have a smaller knife, this might be a good option. As I said, it is made in the US. It is a lockback. One of the few cases you're going to be able to get for under $25. You know, maybe your grandpa carried a case, you carry a case, you'd like your child to carry a case. This might be something you want to look into. keeping with that American-made theme, if you're looking for something a little bigger, here is the Buck 110 LT. Now this comes with a sheath, not the world's greatest sheath, but it is there. You know, if you have a child who is into hunting or something like that, this may be a good option. It's got the same 420HC blade that the standard 110 has. It's a full-size 5-inch hunter. It is a pretty good knife, but it's going to be much less expensive. These run in the $20 to $25 range. Sometimes you can even get them cheaper. I've seen them as low as $15. Oh, the case, by the way, I realized I forgot to tell you, is usually about $16 to $20. Maybe you want to go for a fixed blade. Well, perhaps something like a bird and trout knife would be good. Fixed blades can in some ways be safer because they don't have any moving parts, so you're not running a risk of the blade collapsing on somebody's finger. If you've got a child who spends a lot of time outside, is somewhere where carrying a knife on his or her belt would be acceptable, then maybe this is something you want to do. Now, bird and trout knife is kind of nice because it is relatively small. This is a Rough Rider stag handle. I don't know if you can get the stag handle one any longer, but there are several other handle treatments of the same knife you can get, including a yellow composite handle that only runs about $10. Otherwise, these will run, you know, anywhere from $10 to $15 or $16 for the Rough Riders. You could also go with other brands. Marbles, I know, has a couple of these that would come in under the $25 mark. But this is something to consider if you're looking for a small fixed blade. Now, we can also consider a real classic, a Mora. Now, this, if you got a child who's really into bushcraft type stuff, this may be the best thing you could get. Now with the Mora, you're gonna have to think about, do you want stainless or carbon steel? With kids, a lot of times stainless might be better because you don't have quite as much to do to take care of it. But carbon would be fine as well. This one is a Mora Basic. This one happens to have a carbon steel blade. I actually forced a patina on this one, which is something you could do as well if you have a carbon steel, just to give it a little extra protection. The Mora Basics run somewhere in the neighborhood of $11 to $13. You could get a companion, which is going to have a little more ergonomic handle, a little different shape, for about $17. And there are some other Moras out there as well that you could consider. But if you've got a kid who's into bushcraft, likes to spend a lot of time in the woods, this may be a really good option. Then I have, for the final thing I want to show you, a multi-tool. Now, this is a Ganzo F201. I did look online, and the F201 does seem to be a little hard to find now. It seems to be sold out most places, but there's also a G201, which is the same thing, only a Ganzo rather than Firebird branding, so maybe a couple of years older, slightly different handles. There's also the F202, which has the same tools that this does, just has a skeletonized handle. Now, this is not a Leatherman, but it's still pretty good quality, and this runs $20 to $23, $24. You can sometimes find them even for under $20. You know, you have your pliers, you have a number of tools in the blade. Just very quickly, if I can get these out, you have the saw blade, you have an awl, you have this blade which fits onto a bunch of screwdriver heads that come with it. You have the main sheep's foot blade. I believe this is a 420 HC blade. You have a pair of scissors. It's hard for me to see through the camera here where they are. So you have here this pair of scissors, works reasonably well. You have the serrated blade. You have a small screwdriver and you have a can opener, cap lifter, all in one. Again, this is not a Leatherman, it's not Leatherman quality, but it is not bad, quite honestly. It's pretty heavy duty. My son had an old Leatherman that he'd gotten from his grandfather when he died, and he didn't want to use it because he was worried about, breaking it or doing something to it to mess it up. So I got him one of these and gave it to him. He was very happy, and it's been very useful for him. So these are just a few examples of things that you could get your child for a first knife. As I say, there are many others out there. This is only the tip of the iceberg. If you have some ideas of what might be a good knife for kids, please do let me know in the comments down below. Let other people know as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you found this interesting, maybe even a little bit helpful. Have a good day, and I will talk to you later.